Okay, welcome back, friends. Happy to have you in this our channel, the Catalyst, the home of all solutions. So we are going to continue with the question Romans 4. In Romans 4, the question says, using SQL commands, write an SQL command. Write an SQL statement to query the database tables for each of the following. A. The trip, start date, end date, destination of all trips supervised by the teacher with teacher ID T1. Okay, so let's go. We'll move to this side. So to do that, we are going to move to queries now, and most of the information are coming from the trip table. In the trip table, we have trip ID, start date, end date, destination, and teacher ID. So to do that, we'll go to query. So to query. Okay, we select trip and we click on query. Okay, to query, what are the fields we need to add in this our question? Question says we need to add which fields? We need to add the first field we are supposed to add is trip ID. So we'll go over here. As you can see, we'll select under trip, we'll select trip ID. That's the first. The second field is start date, which is still under trip ID. Start date. Okay. Next is end date, which is still under trip. At the next field, I think we need two. Yeah, we need two more. So after end date, we have destination. Okay, move down. After destination, we have teacher ID. Okay, so teacher ID is the last, and teacher ID, the condition is that we need all the trips supervised by teacher with teacher ID T1. Okay, teacher ID T1. So we have the teacher ID T1. So it's very easy. What we'll do is we'll go under teacher ID, we'll tick here and click on criteria. And what is the criteria? It must be T1. Simple as that. Criteria T1 equals to T1. Once we've done that, we click on update query to see our SQL command for this query. Okay, let me make it large. Okay, it says select trip ID, trip ID, start date, end date, destination, and teacher ID from trip, where trip dot teacher ID equals to T1. So that is it. We click on submit. Hope you can see the submit button. This is it, submit query, and voila. So this is what we have as a result. We have just one trip supervised by teacher ID T1. Okay, so I think we should do some records again. We should do maybe 2 records for teacher ID 1 under trip, okay, so that we can have more than one output. Okay, so we can have more than one output. So we'll just add some records again under this table. So you have trip ID. It should be trip ID number 4 now. Start date, well, it doesn't matter, let's just destination, boundary, and T1 is John. So we take, yes, we'll add again the trip ID. It should be TR5. Start date, we'll take any. Okay, destination, we'll take here only, and still done by John, that's T1. See, very good. So now we'll go back to our query now. We'll go back to our query. Let's do the query again. So we'll click on trips DB, go up, look for query. Okay, then now what are we going to do? Select these fields, trip ID from trip table. We also need 4 tables, 4 columns. We also need start date. We also need end date. We need destination. Lastly will need teacher ID. Then the criteria, we'll tick it and click on criteria. What is our criteria? We need just trip supervised by teacher with teacher ID T1. Voila. So click on update and see our SQL command here. Okay, what do we do next? We'll click on submit and voila, so it has been done. So we now see our records clearly here. See, this is our output. So we have 3 trips supervised by teacher T1, and this is beautiful. So now we'll answer the second part of the question, the query, which I think is the last question. Okay, they said we should write an SQL command that picks out the trip ID and the name of people who attended a trip supervised by the teacher with teacher ID T1. Okay, so what do we need now? We need to pick out the trip ID which we got from trip table. Then we need to also pick out the name of the student or the people who attended the trip by the teacher with teacher ID 1. So there are so many tables that are involved here. So let's just go straight away, see what we can do. Okay, so we'll click on query. We'll take the trip ID. Is it trip ID? We can get trip ID from people trip here. That's it. We also need the people, since the 2 tables relate. The people trip is the junction table between the trip and the people. So we'll take the second is they said we should give the people name. So we'll go to people, and then we'll select surname. They said name, but we'll just use a surname, okay, for people. And lastly, we need the teacher ID, which can still be gotten. Is it teacher ID? Yes, teacher ID. Yeah, teacher ID from the teacher table. Okay, and we have a condition. What is the condition? It must be equal to T1. When they talked about trips organized, and they did not ask for destination. Yeah, they just said the trip ID and the name of the people who attend. So these three are okay. So we are going to update our query. As you can see, hopefully it works. Let's just hope it works. So we submit now, and voila. So we have this, okay. We have the names of the people who were supervised, the people who were supervised by T1. So that is it. We've come to the end of our lesson on database. Thank you very much for the time you created to subscribe, to watch our videos, to like and comment. Subsequently, we are going to upload other lessons on concepts in the computer science. See you in our next video. And please, if you have not yet subscribed, make sure you do so. Subscribe, like, comment, and share our videos. As you do that, may God bless you.